Hello everyone, myself Deepa Singh, working as a assistant professor in pharmacy department in Suresh Gyan Bihar University. Today we discuss about factors affecting drug absorption or different types of factors that affect the absorption rate, maybe altered, slow release, or maybe it do not uniformly distribute in your body. And previous lecture we already discussed about what is absorption. Absorption means unchanged form of the drug that reaches from systemic circulation and it in unchanged form, not showing a particular desired effect, it in a unchanged form. So today we discuss about factor affecting drug absorption. There's a different type of factor. In previous lecture, we already analyzed different types of factors like physiochemical factor, pharmaceutical factor, and the patient-related factor, manufacturing factor. So in physicochemical factors, we already discussed some properties and in this physical-chemical properties, mainly pH, particle size, flow property, all these come parameters are in physical-chemical property. And in pharmaceutical factor means maybe their manufacturing process or maybe any machine or anything related to some pharmaceutical manufacturing or during industry or maybe some excipient interaction, all this come in pharmaceutical factor. And patient-related factor means every person vary, maybe their body weight, maybe their immunity or different, some people suffer different types of disease. So this patient related factor is vary according to person, and it is also responsible to affect the absorption rate. So we will discuss this one by one. First is learning object. Before starting this factor affecting drug absorption, you should know about this object. In this object, what is absorption, dissolution, and disintegration. In absorption part, we already discussed site of administration to systemic circulation, and drug in unchanged form is known as absorption. Dissolution means drug may be uniformly distributed in your body with the help of blood and ready to reach us in a particular site. And disintegration is breakdown of the particle, maybe from tablet or capsule to individual particle. So before dissolution, disintegration takes place. So in this topic, you should know about all this definition: what is absorption, what is dissolution, what is disintegration. And next is difference between the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic parameter. Pharmacokinetic parameter means ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. How this ADME affects the absorption rate or maybe particular desired effect. So what is pharmacokinetic parameter and what is pharmacodynamic parameter? Pharmacodynamic parameter means pharmacological response or therapeutic response or maybe desired effect. And the next is difference type of factor affecting a drug absorption, including physical chemical factor, pharmaceutical, patient-related factor. All these factors are coming in this absorption rate affecting process. And these are the definition. And definition, first definition is pharmacokinetic. Pharmacokinetic is science of kinetic, drug absorption, distribution, and elimination. Elimination comes excretion and metabolism, both process. And in this pharmacokinetic, you should know about how drug takes place or how show absorption and it distribute in your body. And elimination is further divided into two categories. Maybe it gets excrete out or maybe it gets metabolized in your body. And next definition is pharmacodynamic. Pharmacodynamics means refer to the relationship between the drug concentration at the site of action or receptor and pharmacological response means how it shows pharmacological response are available at particular site or how it produce pharmacological response by acting at particular receptor. Without help of receptor or acting particular receptor, drug do not show the desired effect. So in pharmacodynamic, you should know about that how this particular drug showing this pharmacodynamic or pharmacological response with the help of the receptor or which type of the receptor. Next definition is absorption, the main definition of this topic. And there's the process of movement of unchanged drug from site of administration to systemic circulation is called as absorption. Means when you take a drug and it goes in systemic circulation and it don't get changed, it just reaches in systemic circulation. After administering particular drug, it is known as absorption. And also absorption is defined as a process of movement of unchanged drug from site of administration to the site of measurement. Means after administration, where it reaches or a particular site measurement or maybe in a plasma, it is also known as absorption. So absorption is means a movement of unchanged drug from site of administration to systemic circulation, or maybe movement of unchanged drug from site of administration to particular site or maybe in a plasma, and it in always unchanged form. It's a flow chart how particular dosage form get disintegrate, dissolve, or reaches to at particular site. So first we take suppose solid dosage form. In solid dosage form, maybe tablet or capsule. There may be some chances it gets disintegrate. Disintegrate means breaking of small particle or dividing in a small particle. So when you take a solid dosage form, in solid dosage form, maybe tablet or capsule, it form granules or aggregate, or it divided into small particle. Then after this granules and aggregate, it again divided into fine particles. Fine particles are the more less small size compared to granules and aggregate, and you know that small the particles are, greater the surface area and greater will be the solubility or dissolution rate. So when it converted into fine particles, there is more chances to absorption or disintegration or dissolution. There may be also chances that solid dosage form directly in a solution at absorption site, or after converting granules and aggregate it maybe in a solution or in an absorption site. And after fine particles drug in a solution at absorption site is also possible. After this step, there's main crossing barrier is depending on which type of drug you take, maybe non-ionic drug or ionic drug. So in previous lecture, we already discussed that limited amount of drug passes through this membrane or through this particular membrane. So if your drug is non-ionic drug, then it easily pass through your GI barrier or easily cross this barrier or GI fluid. And next is ionic drug. Ionic drug shows some difficulty for passing this barrier or by crossing this GI barrier. Only small size particle that cross this GI barrier, and suppose less than 100 Dalton particles only cross this barrier. Otherwise, large size particle more than 100 Dalton do not cross this barrier. So after disintegrating or maybe breaking down the particles, the crossing of procedure of this particular drug is depend on the type of the drug. Particular type of the drug cross this membrane, very limited amount of drug cross this barrier. Next, below there's some parts like disintegration, deaggregation, dissolution, absorption. Disintegration means breaking of the tablet, means tablet get break and form the granules, aggregate, or maybe converted into small particles. This is known as disintegration. This takes place always before dissolution. And next is deaggregation. This disintegrated particle gets deaggregate, again converted into less small particle or fine particles. It is known as deaggregation. Next step is dissolution. Dissolution means your drug come in contact with particular pH range or in a body fluid. It is known as dissolution. Absorption means drug in an unchanged form reaches in systemic circulation. In all four courses, drug do not reach at particular site, but it gets break and it converted into solution form, or maybe it goes in a systemic circulation, but it do not start to showing a particular effect of reaching a particular site or desired site. So in next slide, these are the factors affecting drug absorption. In this first physicochemical factor, this physicochemical factor is further divided into different sub-factors like drug solubility and dissolution rate. In drug solubility and dissolution rate, mainly you decide which type of drug you select. It is an oil soluble or water soluble. If your drug is water soluble, then it do not easily or at particular site. So you should always select a drug should be in a oil soluble or a lipophilic nature. Some hydrophilic nature don't absorb easily and some show more problems. And the similarity also for dissolution rate. Next is for particle size and effective surface area. For particle size, smaller the particle size, greater will be the surface area. And due to this greater surface area, absorption rate is more. and drug show more desired effect due to this, and due to this particle size there may be some chances it reduce dose also. Suppose you take 500 mg dose for larger particle formulation, but you reduce the particle size, your dose concentration of the drug is also decreased. Instead of 500 mg, it may be 300, 400 mg according to particle size, also effect of particular site. And when you decrease particle size, surface area is more and it easily distributes. So always you select small size particle for good absorption or for good therapeutic effect. And next is polymorphism and amorphism. In the previous lecture, we already discussed about what is polymorphism, amorphism. Polymorphism means different type of crystal or more than one type of the crystal form. It is known as polymorphism. And amorphism is randomly arranged particle. Polymorphism mainly 3D structure because there's different types of crystal formation. So in polymorphism, it's a 3D structure. Amorphism is randomly arranged. It do not have a 3D structure. And according to this type of polymorphism and amorphism show more solubility compared to polymorphism because it randomly arranged and it easily take moisture and get converted into solution or maybe it easily dissolve compared to a 3D structure or crystalline form. So you should try select amorphism form, but some crystalline form is more stable during the storage condition or during the formulation. So first you perform pre-formulation study, check their compatibility with some which type of crystal or amorphous form is stable in particular formulation. It may be amorphous form or crystalline form or polymorphic form. So don't say that always amorphous form have a good solubility, or maybe it have a good solubility, but it is not compatible with other excipient, or maybe get show some stability problem or do not formulate a good formulation. So this is all we decide after before start formulation or during pre-formulation study. And next is the pseudopolymorphism. It is further divided into hydrates and solvent. Hydrate means easily take the moisture or take the water, and solvent is just opposite to hydrate. In this case, there's also more solubility of hydrate due to it easily take moisture or uptaking of water content. Next is salt form of the drug. Salt form of the drug is also very important factor because without this, we do not formulate good quality of formulation. And this salt form is mainly depend on the type, which formulation you formulate, maybe weak acid or weak base drug you use. So salt form is mainly depend on weak acid base or according to your formulation. Next is lipophilicity of the drug, pK of the drug, in GIT, pH. This is both parameters known as pH partition hypothesis. These are interrelated with each other. In lipophilicity, your drug should be in oily in nature. It should more concentration in oil or less in water. If it's in lipophilic in nature, then it easily cross the membrane and it do not show any error or have a capacity to show more good effect at a particular site. Next is drug stability. Drug stability performed by various parameters or depending on the type of formulation, because stability is three types, and according to formulation you select which study is required for particular formulation: accelerated stability, long-term stability, and intermediate stability. These three types have a different interval, maybe 12 months, 6 months, or more than 12 months. According to this, you select which parameter is required, which drug stability parameter is required for particular formulation. Next factor is pharmaceutical factor. This factor is mainly during the formulation or maybe due to some excipient, drug, or machine factor. So in this first is disintegration time. Disintegration type is mainly for solid dosage form. In solid dosage form, mainly for tablet and capsule. Because when you formulate a liquid dosage form like solution, suspension, or syrup, it do not show this disintegration because it's already in a solution form. Disintegration means breaking of a particle from large to small, or maybe tablet or capsule to granules. So this disintegration time is only for tablet and capsule. And this disintegration time should be small, but this is not require small in every condition. It mainly depend on type of formulation. If suppose it's a control release formulation or sustained release formulation, then in this condition you should select more larger disintegration time, because the tablet maybe show effect for the longer period of time, month or year. So it should be long time. But in case of some emergency situation or maybe fast release or super disintegrated tablet, it should be short or very small, maybe in minutes or seconds. And you should this disintegration type may be adjust with the help of some excipient or some disintegrating agents, and according to your required tablet or capsule type you select this excipient. And for disintegration time enhancing, you also use coating. Maybe some polymer you select for this coating. Due to coating, disintegration time is also enhanced. Next is dissolution time. After disintegration, dissolution takes place. This is also for some solid dosage form process of solid dosage form formulations. Dissolution means when your drug gets disintegrate and it goes in particular pH level or in a body fluid, is known as dissolution time. And when you take a drug, it don't reaches 100% at particular required site, but it distributed uniformly in your body. So your dissolution time may be small according to a formulation, and in some control release formulation, it shows some peak release mechanism. So at particular site, particular amount of drug is released, and again one peak is formed. Suppose 500 mg drug, and first it release only 100 mg in 2 hours. Then after 2 hours, it reaches to zero order of kinetics. And again after 2 hours, it again 100 mg is released. This type of formulation contain more dissolution time and more disintegration time. Next is manufacturing variable. In manufacturing variable, too many conditions are responsible to affect the absorption rate. In this manufacturing variable, maybe machine are not properly set, or maybe it not properly sterilized, it contains some contaminating or any particle which responds maybe affect the absorption rate. So in manufacturing variable, first you clearly clean your plant or manufacturing area, properly check individual part of that particular machine. Suppose you're preparing tablet, then check all dyes and pinches, which type of dye pinches you use, and the particles are the granules particle size, or all excipients are in the proper quantity, it easily punch or not, and their hardness. All these factors are included in manufacturing variables. Suppose you do not set proper machine, or some dyes and punches are not properly set, then your tablet will show more variation or more errors are come in this formulation. So before starting formulation, you should assure about all things about the machine and environmental condition also. Next is pharmaceutical ingredient. In ingredient, there may be excipient or maybe drug. All are comes in pharmaceutical ingredient. Now, only excipient is not responsible for this absorption rate affecting, but drug is also responsible, because some drug are not compatible with particular excipient. Before starting study, you should check compatibility with each excipient. Maybe drug interaction takes place, or maybe drug excipient interaction takes place. So you check individual excipient plus drug are compatible with each other during the formulation or after formulation. Maybe it gets not compatible during the storage, or it's a stability problem after manufacturing, or after coming in market, or after 6 months. So individually check the compatibility of each and every excipient. They are good or not for particular formulation. If it shows some instability or incompatibility problem, then you should change or take another alternative excipient. So these compatibility tests you check with the help of certain types of instrument, like DSC and all this type of machine, or some techniques are used for compatibility checking. Next is nature and type of the dosage form. It's also very important, because we require short-term effect or maybe immediate effect. Then you formulate fast disintegrating tablet, not control release or long-term effect. And in this condition, you select proper excipient, which type of formulation you formulate and which type of excipient you use. And for suppose you're preparing liquid type of formulation or liquid solution formulation, and then in this case, there's no need to check the disintegration and dissolution time. But in this condition, you check the compatibility or maybe container interaction with your formulation or any excipient interact with any other excipient. So according to dosage form, you select a particular excipient or condition of your formulation. Next is product age and storage condition. This mainly you decide with the help of stability and study. Suppose your formulation is stable for 5 years, 3 years, but you store in appropriate condition, then it may be expire within 6 months. So product age and storage condition you should always maintain in label or in a particular formulation. You can see that some formulation show condition like stored away from sunlight or in a dark condition. That's why this direction are showing, because when you store in the sunlight to contact or during in an exposure area, there may be some chances it get expire or contaminated. So always check product age and a storage condition, which storage condition is required for particular formulation. Next is patient related factor. This is all factors are depending on the type of the patient or vary patient to patient. Every person showing different effect or different desired effect because their body weight may be changed. Some persons are fit, or maybe some person have weak immunity or may have suffering from certain types of disease or route of administration or their membrane changing property. All these factors are related to patient related factor. So it should be very patient to patient. And this person patient related factor first is route of administration. In route of administration, mainly depending on type of formulation. Suppose you're giving the formulation by the oral route, or in this condition you require more dose, because in oral route it don't show 100% effect of particular drug. In compare of parenteral formulation, suppose you take drug with the help of some intravenous or intramuscular route. In this condition, it show you use less amount of dose of the particular drug, because less dose is required for parenteral route. It directly reaches in your system with blood circulation, not showing first class effect. And next is membrane physiology. This is also depending on person to person. Nature of cell membrane and transport process. Which process takes place in particular person or according to the nature of cell membrane in particular patient. Next is age. Age is a very important major factor affecting the drug absorption. And according to age, there's membrane thickness is also varied. That's why age is also responsible. And child condition, you take a small dose or less dose because the membrane may be not particularly developed or is thin, it easily permeate, or when you take large amount of a drug, it show more toxic effect, as well as the body weight is also less. So in case of children, you use always small dose with the help according to their body weight. And as well as some old patient as well as young patient may vary this dose according to their immunity or their some condition, because of particular age some persons suffer certain diseases. It is also affect your particular dose effect. Next is gastric emptying time. Gastric emptying time is also responsible for person to person, because every person take a different type of meal, or gastric emptying is also vary according to person. And next is institutional transit time. This is similar to gastric emptying time. This is also very person to person. In patient related factor, next is gastrointestinal pH. In this, pH is major factor. Suppose you require effect of a drug in stomach and you formulating your formulation according to basic pH. So it will not show desired effect because you should prepare in an acidic condition environment formulation. Next is disease state. Suppose person suffering from particular disease and it already taking that particular disease treatment. So there may be some chances drug-drug interaction or this disease condition affect or reduce the effect of particular dose. Next is blood flow through GIT. Blood flow through GIT is also vary because not similar blood flow is observed in every person. There may be some variation or due to some condition, disease condition, blood flow is also vary. Next, GIT contain. In this GIT contains food-drug interaction. Some food are interacted with the drug, and it show not going to desired effect, or maybe some show more toxic effect. So GI content is also responsible. Food-drug interaction maybe takes place. So next is fluid. Fluid-drug interaction is also takes place because some fluid are not good for particular formulation. It form complex, like when you take tetracycline with some milk product or some dairy product, it form complex and it do not show desired effect because it don't reaches a particular site and it interact with the milk and form the complex. Next is other normal GI content. Other than this food and food, some content are present in GI, and these content are also responsible to interact with drug and alter the particular effect of the drug. Next is pre-systemic metabolism. In this pre-systemic metabolism, different types of enzymes are involved. Every enzyme have affect particular drug or interact with drug, like luminal enzyme, withdrawal enzyme, bacterial enzyme, hepatic enzyme. All these enzymes are present in pre-systemic process or pre-systemic metabolism and affect the drug process or alter the drug release or drug absorption process. This is all about patient-related factor. Now we discuss these factors individually. First is physicochemical factor. In physicochemical factor, first is drug solubility and dissolution rate. In drug solubility and dissolution rate, the rate determining step in absorption of orally administered drug are rate of dissolution, rate of drug formation through biomembrane. And the solubility and dissolution rate is mainly depending on the which route you use for administration. Suppose you use a parental route, then it show more good effect or desired effect because your drug directly reaches in blood. But in oral route, it should be slow and require more concentration. And dissolution is a rate limiting step for hydrophobic and poorly active soluble drug like griseofulvin, spironolactone, and we already say that hydrophilic drugs are less soluble and it do not easily cross the membrane. So this hydrophobic drug or hydrophilic drug you select, these are the rate limiting step. When your drug is in oil soluble or in a hydrophilic in nature, then it do not show good solubility. Next is permeation is a rate determining step for hydrophilic and high active soluble drug like bromomylene, sodium, neomycin. It is just opposite to previous point. Prerequisite for the absorption of the drug is that it must be present in active solution. This is dependent on the drug active solubility and its dissolution rate. So drug absorption is prerequisite step. It should be depend on how drug is solubilized or it get dissolved. According to the solubility and dissolution rate, absorption we will decide. So it should be in a proper manner, in a good manner. It's a flow chart. First you take suppose solid dosage from tablet and capsule. In this solid drug particle converting, then drug in a solution at absorption site means it get disintegrated, dissolved and converted into granules. After converting this in granules, it converting solution form or ready to absorption. Then drug in the body. After drug in the body, it reaches particular site and showing therapeutic effect. But it drug in solution at absorption site or before solid drug particle, there is some chance dissolution is a rate limiting step for hydrophilic drug. This is depend on type of the drug. Similar to this drug in solution for absorption site and drug in the body, there is a permeation rate limiting step for the hydrophilic drug. So you should select different type of drug according to your requirement, or you can modify your formulation also. Next is particle size and effective surface area. Particle size play major role in drug absorption. Dissolution rate of the solid particle is proportional to surface area. Smaller the particle size, more the surface area, more the absorption, and dissolution also takes place fast. We already discussed about this point. So you can select this small size of particle size. There is chance is larger surface area. And you calculate this particle size with the help of different technique, maybe some instrument or maybe some lab scale technique. And next is dissolution rate of solid particle is proportional to surface area. Suppose more the surface area, small the particle, more the dissolution rate. So when you modify your formulation, properly modify particle size, then it may be directly advantageous to your dissolution rate. Because when you formulate small particle size or it show more surface area, it show more dissolution rate and easily get dissolved and show more fast effect. So this dissolution rate is proportional to the directly proportional to surface area. Next is smaller particle size, greater the surface area, then higher will be the dissolution rate, because dissolution rate takes place at the surface area of the solid. Same, smaller the particle size, greater the surface area, and higher will be the dissolution rate, because dissolution is takes place at the surface area of the solid or of the drug. Because the dissolution of the drug takes place from the drug, so you can select small size particle or small size drug. Particle size reduction has been used to increase the absorption of large number of poorly soluble drug. Suppose you take small size particle, reduce the particle size, the absorption rate may be increased, or poorly soluble drug is also showing more absorption rate due to small particle size. Suppose you are using hydrophilic drug and the particle size is small, less than 100 Dalton, so it easily crosses the membrane. But you select more larger particle size, 100 Dalton, and then it don't easily cross this membrane and show less absorption. Example is this hydroxyfumarate, digoxin, griseofulvin. There's two types of surface area, absolute surface area, effective surface area. These two types are depending on the type of particle or size of the particle. In this absorption study, the effective surface area is much important than absolute. In two types of absorption, effective is more good surface area compared to the absolute surface area, because to increase the effective surface area, we reduce the size 0.1 micron. So this can be achieved by micronization process. In effective surface area, particle size will be less than suppose 1 micron. Then it's maybe in a form of micro formulation or micronization process, and it show more absorption. So effective surface area is more good compared to absolute surface area. But in case of more important drug, it kept in a while drug is micronized if it is in hydrophilic or hydrophobic form. But it just opposite when you drug in a hydrophilic or hydrophobic form, and this type of drug is also good or important for the absorption. Next is hydrophilic drug condition. In this hydrophilic drug, the small particle having higher energy than the bulk of the solid, resulting in increased interaction with the solvent. Hydrophilic drugs are not easily get absorbed but have a higher energy and easily interact with a solid particle. And for enhancing solubility, you can also modify this hydrophilic drugs. Example is griseofulvin. In this dose reduced to half to micronization. Spironolactone, the dose was decreased 20 times. For digoxin, the ability was found to 100% in micronized tablet. These are the examples. Suppose you are formulating the formulation in micronized form, then dose also reduce or decrease and show more effect. In case of griseofulvin, it's show almost reduce half-life, or in case of digoxin, it show 100% viability. And in case of spironolactone, the dose is decreased 20 times. After micronization, it is found that the absorption efficacy was increased, and hydrophobic drug in this micronization technique result in increased effective surface area, fall in dissolution rate. In this condition, hydrophobic drug always depend on the surface area. Reason that is hydrophobic surface of the drug absorb air on the surface, which inhibit the viability or bettability. The particles we aggregate to form the large particle due to their high surface free energy, which either float on the surface or settle in the bottom of the dissolution medium. And in this, electricity induced agglomeration owing surface charge prevent intimate contact of the drug with dissolution medium. In this, such hydrophobic drug can be converted to the effective surface area. Maybe use surfactant as a wetting agent, decrease interfacial tension, decrease absorbed air to solvent. Example is phenacetine. Solvents like PG, PVC, dextrose, which coat the surface of hydrophobic drug. Hence, you can also enhance the solubility with the help of certain technique or with the help of surfactants also. When you use surfactant, it shows more solubility or good solubility. Next is polymorphism and amorphism. In polymorphism and homomorphism, depending upon the internal structure of a solid, can exist either in a crystalline or amorphous form. When substances exist in more than one crystalline form, the different forms are designed, and polymorph are phenomena called polymorphism. It's more than one crystal form, or it is in 3D structure. It is known as polymorphism. Amorphism is just opposite. We already discussed this point. It is also two types, anisotropic and monotropic. Anisotropic are that which is reversible change with certain temperature or maybe certain pressure changes. Example sulfur, but monotropic is always unstable. It do not change at particular temperature or pressure. Example is glycerol stearate. Next is the polymorphs differ from each other with respect to physical properties such as solubility, melting point, density, hardness, and compression characteristics. All these are the other factors which are also responsible for affecting absorption rate or maybe selection of polymorphism. This change in physical property affects the dissolution property and hence the absorption. Example is vitamin riboflavin exists in several polymorphic forms. Polymorph form 3 will riboflavin is 20 times more stable than the form 1. Suppose this riboflavin is 3 types and third water soluble and show more effect, approximately 20 times more effect. Amorphism means some drug that can exist in amorphous form having no internal structure. Such represent the high energy state. They have a greater solubility than the crystalline form and require molecule for lattice greater. And in this example is Novosin is 10 times more soluble than crystalline because the different solids from this drug is like amorphous, metastable, and stable. In this, amorphous is more stable than metastable, and metastable is more stable than stable. So amorphous show more solubility and good property compared to crystalline form. Next is pseudopolymorphism. In this one, the solvent molecule are entrapped in the crystalline structure of polymorph is known as pseudopolymorphism. It is also further divided into two types, solvent and hydrates. The stoichiometric type of aqueous solvent molecule are incorporated in crystalline lattice of the solid are called as solvent, and then trapped solvent as a solvent of crystallization. And hydrate is just opposite to solvent, and the solvent is associated with drug in the water, and the solvent is known as hydrate. And hydrate and solvent are pseudopolymorph, where the hydrate are less soluble and solvent are more soluble. So you can select the according to type of formulation. Suppose you require more soluble formulation, then you select solvent form, otherwise select hydrate form. Effective absorption according to type of formulation. And example is N-petal of solvent, fluorocortisone, succinyl sulforazine has a greater aqueous solubility than the non-solvent. Next is salt form of the drug. This is also responsible for affecting absorption rate. While considering the salt form of the drug, pH diffusion layer is important not for pH of the bulk solution. Example of the salt form is weak acid. In weak acid, increase the pH of diffusion layer to promote the solubility and dissolution of weak acid, which promote the solubility and dissolution of weak acid as well as bound to be rapid. And other approach is to enhance the dissolution of the rate of certain drug in formation of in situ formation, that is increasing the pH of microenvironment by incorporating buffering agents, example aspirin and penicillin. Sometimes more soluble salt from the drug may result in poor absorption. Sodium salt of phenobarbital, example, it is a tablet swell and did not get disintegrate, dissolve slowly and result in poor absorption. This is all dependent on type of the drug or how it get disintegrate or dissolve. This is a condition how absorption takes place. Diffusion layer with pH 5 to 6. Then it diffuses drug from particle and converted into different particle. After converting, it reaches to particular barrier by crossing GI lumen, and a soluble form of the drug easily permeate and reaches in blood. And rapid dissolution takes place in case of fine particle or in the case of weak acid. Next factor is pH partition hypothesis. This theory states that the drug compound of a molecule weight more than 100, which are primarily transported across a biomembrane passive transport process. Absorption is from dissolution constant pK, lipid solubility of ionized drug, pH at absorption site, drug pK and GI pH. And this amount of drug exists in unionized form, and unionized form is a function of pK of the drug and pH of the fluid absorption. different factors or different formula according to weak acid or weak base. For weak acid, pH is equals to pKa plus log ionized divided by unionized form. This is for weak base. This is the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, and we calculate percent drug ionized is equals to tan pH minus pK divided by 1 plus tan pH minus pK into 100. And for weak base, it's just a 2. pH is equals to pKa plus log unionized divided by ionized, and for percent drug ionized is equals to tan pKa minus pH divided by 1 plus tan pKa minus pH into 100. If there is a membrane barrier that separates the aqueous solution of the different pH, Gi, T and plasma, then theoretical ratio R of the drug concentration on either side of the membrane can be given by following equation. For weak base is Ra CGIT divided by C plasma, or you can also say that it is equivalent to 1 plus 10 pH GIT minus pKa divided by 1 plus 10 pH plasma minus pKa. For weak base, just opposite. Rb for weak base is CGIT divided by C plasma. This is similar to 1 plus 10 pKa PGIT divided by 1 plus 10 pK minus pH plasma. Next is lipophilicity and drug distribution. The lipophilicity and drug distribution, the lipid solubility of drug is determined from oil and water partition coefficient value, where the increase in drug value indicate increase in percentage drug absorbed. This is the formula for partition coefficient or checking lipophilicity. Distribution of a drug in organic phase, like in oil phase, we take octanol, and distribution of drug in aqueous phase. With the help of this formula, you calculate how much drug is soluble in particular medium, within oil soluble or in water soluble. Next is drug stability. The drug for oral use may be desired either during the shelf life of the GIT. The major stability problem resulting in poor viability of orally administered drug, degradation of a drug in the inactive form, and interaction with one more different component, either from dosage form, this may be GIT form of the complex, poorly soluble and absorbable. Now, this is all about factor affecting drug absorption. Now, the learning outcome of this topic, after completing this factor, we should know about which factor is responsible for drug absorption, like what is physical chemical factor, how it is responsible for absorption, pharmaceutical factor, how it affects absorption rate, or which factor of pharmaceutical are responsible for absorption. Next is patient related factor. All these comes in this factor. These are the reference in this Brahmankar, D.M. Jaiswal, SB post addiction, absorption of drug, biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetic, Brazil, Bala Prakashan, Delhi, 1995. Second reference is Struggle and Pedro VC for addition, physiological factor related to drug absorption, applied pharmaceutics, biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetic. Trinity Hall International, ICCS, Stanford, 1999. Next, reference Alton and Pharmaceutics, the science of the dosage form. Design second edition, Charlotte Livingstone. These are the three good books. Other than this, there is Warwick J. Volume Jesse, Absorption, Encyclopedia of Pharmaceutical Technology, third edition, Marcel Decker, INC, New York, 1988, and page number is 1 to 33. Next is Biopharmaceutical and Biopharmacokinetic by G.R. Chatwal. Chatwal is also good book. Next is Human Anatomy and Physiology by Tortora. This is all for this factor affecting drug absorption. There may be different books we use for different type of factor. Next is question time. In this first question, what is pharmacokinetic? There's a four option. A is the study of biological and therapeutic effect of the drug. The study of absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of the drug. C is the study of mechanism of drug action and study of method of new drug development. And second question is, what does pharmacokinetics include? This include, first option is complication of a drug therapy. Second is influence of a drug on metabolic process. C is drug biotransformation in the organism. D is the influence of the drug on gene. And third question is route of drug administration, when passes a drug through liver minimized by total route, transdermal route, tractal route, or intraduodenal route. Next, fourth question is, what is the characteristic of oral route? First is fast onset effect. Absorption depends on GI tract secretion, and a drug reaches the blood directly. D is the sterilization of medicine form of the obligatory. Next, fifth question is the rate of diffusion of a drug across the biological membrane is first option directly proportional to concentration gradient, dependent on the route of administration, indirectly proportional to membrane area, indirectly proportional to lipophilicity. And in 6.1 question, the movement of across the membrane is called as symbol, antipode, drug transport, and absorption. Next is passive diffusion is expressed as first fixed law of diffusion, fixed second law of diffusion, first order kinetics, and zero order kinetics. Next question is transport across the cell membrane depend on the following except first one is surface area of the absorption, lipid partition coefficient, density transporter, concentration gradient. Ninth question is all are the characteristics of passive diffusion except the option is drug moves from the concentration gradient. It is an energy independent process. Drug move of the concentration gradient. It is a non-saturated process. And last 10th question is that when the solvent is in association with drug, it is water. It is known as anhydrate, amorphous, hydrate, and even is solvent. So you can solve this question for your word concept clearance. And this is all about factor of drug absorption. So thank you for listening. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.